no place that I could hide. You were always in pursuit, I'm never too far gone, always in your side. When I wait for you, you're always right on time. You're always pursuing, always pursuing, always pursuing me. More than the air I breathe, I need you here with me. And you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop. And you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop chasing me. You made a way for me, opened up the door. Jesus, you have my heart, now and forevermore. You're always pursuing, always pursuing, always pursuing me. More than the air I breathe, I need you here with me. And you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop. And you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop chasing me. More than the air I breathe, I need you here with me. And you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop. And you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop chasing me. Pursuing, always pursuing, always pursuing me. Your love is chasing, your love is chasing, your love is chasing me. You're always pursuing, always pursuing, always pursuing me. Oh, your love is chasing, your love is chasing, your love is chasing me. More than the air I breathe, I need you here with me. And you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop. And you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop chasing me. More than the air I breathe, I need you here with me. And you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop. And you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop chasing me. No, you're never, and you're never gonna stop, never gonna stop.
Hey kids, welcome to week 4 of Crossover. We are so excited that you guys decided to join us this week, and the big idea is that God gives us extraordinary help. So with that being said, I want you guys to share a time where God has helped you. See, for me, when I was growing up, I had a hard time with school at times, but God was there through that whole process. And because of that, I was even able to help other kids. So I want you guys to share with someone around you a time where God has helped you. And maybe you can help someone else also. But hey, before we jump into our lesson, we're going to go into one more worship song called Love Running After. So we're going to get up, dance, and have fun. Ready, set, here we go.
Cause you love me kids! Ready for a story about how God uses ordinary people to do extraordinary things? This one's about a guy named Daniel and a bunch of lions. Have you ever thought it might be fun to spend the night at the zoo? Well, that does sound fun, but Daniel might not think so. You see, Daniel loved God, but he lived in a city called Babylon, where hardly anyone followed God. Daniel worked for the king and was very important. The king loved him, but this made some people jealous. They wanted to get rid of Daniel, but they couldn't find anything wrong with him. So they came up with a scheme. They knew Daniel prayed to God 3 times a day. So they said to the king,
"Hey, no one should be allowed to pray to God. They should only pray to you, the king. And if they disobey, they should be thrown into a lion's den and eaten."
The king liked this idea because he wanted to feel important and powerful. So it became the law. But Daniel refused to stop praying. He bravely prayed where everyone could see him. The king was sad, but ordered Daniel into the den of lions to be eaten. Can you imagine spending the night with a bunch of hungry lions? Yikes! The king couldn't sleep at all that night. When morning came, he ran to the den and shouted,
"Daniel, did your God save you?"
And do you know what? God did! Daniel shouted,
"Yes, God saved me."
When the king saw that God had protected Daniel, he wrote a letter to everyone in his kingdom, telling them to follow Daniel's God. He wanted everyone to know that God gives extraordinary help.
Today we're talking about one of the most famous stories in the Bible.
It's about a young man who stood up for God even when everyone was against him.
His name was Daniel. He was one of God's people, and he was living in a foreign country ruled by King Darius.
He was smart and strong, probably good looking.
Probably. Look at me.
But the most important thing about him was that he loved God, and God was with him.
Because of that, Daniel became super successful.
So successful that King Darius put him in charge of everything.
And that's where the story gets interesting.
A bunch of the king's men got jealous at Daniel, so they made a plan to take him down.
They knew that Daniel would never break the rules, so they had to find a way to change them.
They convinced the king to make a rule that no one could pray to God anymore.
Daniel followed the rules, except the ones that went against God. Let's think about this in our lives. When your teacher says no talking, do you keep talking? Or when she says clean up your area, do you leave it messy? I hope not.
But what if one day they said you weren't allowed to pray anymore?
What would you do then? Well, that's the situation that Daniel was in.
He had a tough decision to make, but he decided to obey God instead of man.
But when Daniel learned that the law had been signed, he went home and knelt down, as usual, in his upstairs room, with his windows open towards Jerusalem. He prayed 3 times a day, just as he had always done, giving thanks to his God.
Daniel made the right choice, but sometimes bad things happen even when you make the right choices.
Daniel got thrown to the lions, even though he did nothing wrong. Because Daniel broke the law and kept praying, he got thrown into the lion's den. I bet that was pretty scary.
Now, I don't know about you, but my school doesn't throw me into a lion's den every time I pray.
But a mean kid might point fingers at you for praying at lunch.
And that can feel just as scary as staring down a lion.
But Daniel did it, and so can you. God stood with Daniel among the lions. Even though Daniel was in the den surrounded by lions, They didn't eat him.
They didn't attack him or anything because God protected him.
Memory verse! Not a scratch was found on Daniel, for he had trusted in his God.
That day, Daniel showed everyone how powerful God is.
So kids, take a lesson from Daniel.
Follow the rules, but most importantly, follow God.
Welcome back to Grow TV. I'm very excited to see all of y'all. I would stand up, but I'm terrified something will follow me or get me into danger. You see, I don't want anything loud or bad to happen, so I'm gonna keep my voice down, and we're gonna have a wonderful time. So the first thing we're gonna do today is play a game. So today, we're just gonna play with a box of blocks, a nice, quiet, soothing game of block stacking. The goal is gonna be to stack the blocks as high as they can go without making them fall over, because that would be bad and loud and scary. The thing is, I don't want to play this by myself, so I'm going to have someone come and join me. Cassie.
Hey, girl.
Hey! Cassie! Nice of you to drop by. You want to play some blocks with me?
Sure.
Minutes later.
All right, here we go.
Carl, it's been 20 minutes. Just put it on there already.
I will. Just give me a second.
40 minutes later.
All right, here we go. Last one. There and here, okay.
Whoa, why are you so upset?
All I tried to do today was let everything go smoothly. No hiccups, no mess-ups, and no potential danger.
Potential danger?
Yes, every day there's unexpected surprises and potential danger around every corner. And right now the world can seem kind of dangerous, and I don't want any part of it.
Yeah? And how's that working out for you?
Well, not great, but it is better than living the life I used to live.
Which life? The life of happiness, joy, and having fun?
Yep.
Carl, living in fear is no way to live.
Oh yeah? Why not?
God shows us that when we begin to follow Jesus, it gives us courage. Enough courage to face every challenge.
I know, but the story we talked about last week about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego being thrown into the furnace, well, it spooked me out a little.
And that's okay, Carl, but you gotta know that God is gonna give you the help and courage that you need.
There you go with that word again, courage. What does that even mean? Is that some sort of soup or something?
You're thinking of porridge.
No, that's where you store things.
Okay, well, courage is the ability to do something that frightens you. And as people who follow God, we'll be faced with a lot of things that frighten us. And we're gonna need help.
I know. So I'm gonna sit right here and only leave when I need to.
But God wants you to go through those frightening things so we can show others how great God really is and how much He can really help us. Take Daniel, for example.
Who's Daniel? And where are we taking him?
No, I mean, take a look at the story of Daniel in the Bible. He was a well-liked guy and friends with a lot of people.
Well, that sounds like someone I know.
And Daniel was the type of guy that prayed and talked to God every day. And that made him a pretty unpopular guy to some people.
Some people didn't like him? Why?
There will always be people that don't like that we give so much time to God. But that doesn't mean we need to stop. Anyway, a few of these bad guys took Daniel and threw him into a den with a ton of lions.
Lions?
Lions.
Lions?
Yes, lions.
Lions?
All right, that's enough.
Sorry.
So he was thrown in there, and all the lions were super hungry. And Daniel realized he could do one thing that could save himself.
Ah, so he started studying the language of lions. Then he became fluent in the lion language so he could convince the lions that he himself is a lion and that they wouldn't eat him because he would be a lion, and they are lions, and lions don't eat each other. Boom.
Close, but not really. He started praying.
What? That's crazy. Daniel's in the most dangerous situation in the world, and he's just gonna start praying?
He did. He prayed to God to help him, and then it happened.
What?
God sent an angel to shut the mouths of the lions, and Daniel survived.
Holy guacamole! Daniel got a ton of help from God. I wish I had someone that would help me like that.
You do, Carl. If you love and listen to God, God will always give us help. And we will have that help to fight off bad feelings, bad situations, and anything that might frighten us.
Like lions?
Maybe.
Or weird guys with funny pink bear suits?
Sure. Either way, we know God is going to give us extraordinary help.
Wait a second. That's our big idea! Today's big idea is God gives us extraordinary help.
Let's say it loud on the count of 3, okay?
Okay. 1, 2, 3. God gives us extraordinary help! Wow! Good job, everyone. What a great story.
Couldn't agree more. I'm glad we don't have to worry about lions coming into our little den, you know?
Or big, weird men wearing a pink bear suit.
I guess, but how likely is that?
I mean, you never know.
Hey guys.
Hey everyone, we are so glad that you joined us for our last week of our series Crossover. This week, isn't it so cool that we learned about how God gives us extraordinary help? And we see that through the story of Daniel in the lion's den. How cool, right? So before we go, we have one more worship song, and it's called Higher Than the Sky. But before that, I'd love to go over our memory verse with you guys. So that is Ephesians 3:20. Now all the glory to God, who is able through his mighty power at work within us to accomplish infinitely more than we may ask or think. How cool, guys. All right, so let's get ready for worship. Let's get up, let's get ready, let's start. Ready, set, go.
Is washing over me and calling me your own, your own. Your light is burning through the shadows. I see the truth, there is nothing to fear. Your word, your way, your promise everlasting. Over and over, I see your hand. Higher than the sky, your love is deeper than the sea. Your grace is washing over me and calling me your own, your own. Your name, a tower in the battle. You are here, we have nothing to fear. Your voice, my river in the desert. Over and over, I see your hand. Higher than the sky, your love is deeper than the sea. Your grace is washing over me and calling me your own, your own.
Yeah, where the love at? Picture these words, that's a Snapchat. Boomerang with the praise in the right back. Man, we higher than the sky, no turn back. If it be our last night, leave it all here. No fear, be clear, this is your year. Let go of anything that isn't God's steer. Visine with a dream, and it's so clear. Yeah, so clear. And you know wherever you go, I'ma stick close, they gon' think we a duo. Bond so tight, hug it out like a sumo. And I never think twice, you the boss of my life, no, you go. And this world not down with us. They can try to limit